All right, Jenny, we are live.
All right.
Here comes the intro. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you amazing listeners out there in podcast land? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. This is episode 191, recorded on this 4th day of December 2025. Cold out there, Jenny Home.
But you know what I got to
Frigid.
do today?
What?
I got to go to Clausen Trucking and Warehousing. They had their holiday gift giving campaign wrap
Very
up,
nice.
and I took some pictures. And 59 employees.
Yeah.
They do this voluntarily
Every year.
Every year. This
Yeah.
is their 29th year.
Yeah, they do
And
a great job.
They raised over $6,000 to distribute to Victory Center Ministries and to the Retired Senior Volunteer Program.
Yeah, very cool. No,
Isn't
kudos to Pete Clausen, his
Yeah.
lovely wife, his kids. They all do a phenomenal job
Yeah.
spreading that holiday cheer, and they're very philanthropic and have always been that way. In the
Well, and they're
community.
employees.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
love
mean, take it right out of their paycheck, and they volunteer to do it.
Yep. Nope. It's a great cause.
So
Tis the
cool.
season.
Yeah.
Jenny, we got sponsors.
I love them.
Mike Check is courtesy of Citizens First Bank, making your finances and our audio crystal clear. These new mics for the Grow Clinton podcast are proudly sponsored by the bank that's always in tune with our community. Find them at gocfb.bank, banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank, member FDIC. AgCraft Printwear and Sully Sports. AgCraft has been in the custom apparel business since 1974. Over the years, they've grown from a small family-run business serving the Clinton, Iowa area to a cutting-edge operation providing top-notch customized printwear, tchotchkes, hats, hoodies, Carhartts, anything you can imagine that you want your business logo on. Give them a call. Find them at adcraftusa.com. Again, adcraftusa.com. And Sully's really coming along.
I know. I'm
Now
so
they have
excited.
their whole storefront lit up over there on Mill Creek.
They do.
Very cool.
I love it.
Very excited for that. Miles Communication, the OG sponsor of the Grow Clinton podcast. That's right. They power us with high-speed fiber internet. Wicked fast speeds ensure our broadcast remains crisp, clear, and consistent. Miles offers residential and commercial high-speed internet services as well as television and telephone. Meet your every communication need. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they are on their way. MilesTelephone.com. LyondellBasell is a leader in the global chemical industry, guided by the purpose of creating solutions for everyday sustainable living. LYB, as they're also referred to as, is one of the largest producers of polymers and a leader in polyolefin technologies. The LyondellBasell Clinton complex produces resins used to create a variety of products, including household and industrial bottles, pressure pipes, food packaging, outdoor durable goods, construction and roofing materials, toys, kayaks, PEX tubing. The list goes on. Jenny.
Oh, on and on. Everything you touch.
LYB is committed to being a responsible, engaged neighbor in the communities where they operate. LyondellBasell, we thank them for their sponsorship. Solutions for a better tomorrow. Great show today, Jenny.
I'm excited because they're going to be talking about something that's kind of in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, we got two representatives in the hizzy from Sterling Federal Bank. Do not be confused by the images behind me. We called an audible and brought in Andrea as well. So we have Brandi and Andrea in the studio. Welcome to the Grow Clinton podcast. How you ladies doing?
We're doing great. Thanks,
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah, so
Thanks for having us.
Sterling Federal Bank. I had the opportunity to go onto your website. In the About Us section, you have a great description of the history of Sterling Federal Bank. 130 years of banking.
Wow.
Yeah.
You survived 2 world wars, Great Depression, Great Recession. You've been around for a long time. You're located here in Clinton. Tell us a little bit about the institution.
So Sterling Federal Bank, like you said, has been around since 1885. We're celebrating 130 years this year. We have been in the Sterling market for ever,
Yeah.
pretty much since the dawn of time at this point.
Sterling, Illinois.
Yes.
What you're talking about.
Mhm.
Because we get listeners from all over the country.
We do.
That's
We're like Joe
amazing.
Rogan. So we got to say
Better.
Sterling, Illinois.
Mhm.
Sterling, Illinois, yes. Our location in Sterling has been there since 1885. And like you said, we've been through all of the things and we just keep trucking. We did have two locations in Clinton. We now just have one, which is located right across the alley from where we're at right now.
Seventh
No,
Avenue
beautiful
South.
location. Love the building. We were in it a couple months ago
Oh,
and you
yeah.
hosted a Biz After 5. I love the way the light sneaks into that building
It's
from all
really
the
pretty.
windows above the top edge and stuff. And your other location, former location, was on the north end, right on Main Avenue,
Right.
Yes.
which is now Renew
122.
122.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they do a whole bunch of cool stuff there. So
Dude, you know what I like when you go in there is, and even when you drive through, are all the smiling faces.
yeah.
People are always happy to see you. It's very welcoming.
Yeah, so man, the Sterling location's the OG. It's been around forever. 1885, is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
The stories that building could tell. Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Does it have a basement, like an old basement or anything?
It does, but it
Vault.
doesn't look old.
Ah, they should have kept it.
Ah!
I wanted like original limestone,
Yeah.
like haunted basement.
Haunted.
That'd be
vault.
awesome.
The
Yeah, like
haunted
an old
vaults.
ghost of a banker comes and is like, "Give me your money."
There is a creepy dark hallway that I refuse to go down with the
Yeah.
lights off.
For good reason.
Yeah.
So tell us about the banking world, specifically Sterling Federal, what you guys do, what you offer, the type of customers you serve, the gamut. Is it personal finance? Is it business finance? What am I looking at?
So we do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I specialize in business accounts. Andrea does the retail side, being a branch manager.
Yeah.
We serve everyone. We have things for every type of customer, from
Mhm.
small to large. I forgot the second part
Yeah,
of
so
your
like what if
question.
a lot of things
All
that Grow
ages.
Clinton works on is
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time with entrepreneurs, both existing business
Yes.
owners and inspired or aspiring entrepreneurs that want to have a business. They come in to your location here in Clinton. Who's the first person they talk to, and what type of advice do you give them, and how's that process work?
That's going to be this lady.
That's
All
gonna
right,
be me.
Andrea.
Depending on what they're wanting, I usually ask them what their business entails, what their goals are, where they're headed, what their vision is for the future. I let Brandi know. We set up a meeting so that she can come in with her expertise on the business side and hopefully offer them some advice and a guide, and we can help them achieve their goals.
So if somebody comes through the door and they want to open a business like retail,
Mhm.
what do you want them to have with them?
Is a business plan still required?
Yeah.
For a account,
Yeah,
no.
for a commercial loan
That's something
or
that
business loan, whatever you call it.
a business loan, not my forte.
Yeah.
They require a lot of financials and things like
Sure.
that. But for a business account, the question is I'm going to ask them is, have they established their business? Are they operating as doing business as? Are you operating out of your home? Are you looking at moving into a brick and mortar? Really going over like what their plan is. They don't need an official business plan for me, but going through that process and getting them to really understand what their future goal is.
Yeah.
Because then we're able to accommodate, are you going to need a loan? Do you need a small account? Are you needing something larger? What aspects are you going to utilize when it comes to cash flow options and just accounting in general, and making sure that you have all the tools that you need to be successful?
It's kind of,
Yeah.
it's got to feel kind of good when somebody comes in and they're kind of like right in the beginning, the seed, and they maybe don't have all the information, and then you help them and get them on their way.
Oh yeah, we get questions like that all of the time. I actually just spoke to someone a couple of days ago and they're like, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And we've done so much research and educated ourselves on where to go, because we are in banking, but we also want to make sure that they can be successful, because we can open accounts all day long, but if in a year your business isn't open anymore, that doesn't help the community or the bank.
Yeah.
So going through that process and letting them know that we can help
Yeah.
them.
So again, we're talking to Andrea Stiles. I said that right?
That's me.
Stiles?
Yep.
Nice. You're the
Styles.
branch manager of the Clinton and Morrison branches.
Yeah.
And then Brandi Cross, she is the senior commercial deposit specialist. Ooh, I like that.
I like
Specialist.
I love it. I created my title.
I know. Yeah, I want to be the president of awesomeness, but nobody allowed me to change it. I don't
I'll
know.
call you that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can show you how to write a sir
Yeah, there you
and get
go.
approval for that.
Nice. So let's talk about just overall financial confidence. No
Mhm.
matter where you are in your life, whether you're just graduating high school, maybe still in high school, to focusing on retirement, it's sometimes scary and often
Very.
intimidating to be financially secure and responsible. How do you guys help your customers with that type of stuff?
Whenever they come in, and we dive deep into their financial goals. I'm all about education and teaching. There's never a dumb question whenever you come into a bank.
Good to know.
I'm there to support our community in whatever way I can. And the more questions you ask, the better off you're going to be. You're taking charge of your financial future, and I will be there to guide them along the way. Whenever kids come in, they're 18, they're wanting to get started. I usually start them with a checking and a savings. We go over a budget. We go over their bills, what they want to save, what their goals are. A 5-year plan sometimes, even though 5 years is a long time.
I need a 5-month plan.
gosh.
Hey, we get there.
Yeah.
I'm a spender. My wife's a spender. Bad combination.
Not good.
Well, you should come and see me.
No, it's no joke, especially this time of year when we do Christmas
Oh my
shopping. It's like,
gosh.
oh,
Oh,
she'd
yeah.
love that. Oh, someone like that. Oh, boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Next thing you know, I'm like, oh,
What happened?
What
we're
have
not
we
gonna have
done?
water next month.
That's all right. We
Oh,
can live
shoot.
without water. So
Yeah.
it's when you have like an 18-year-old come
Yeah.
in, financial literacy is so important. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
often that's not something that they cover or that gets covered, but they have to be pretty overwhelmed when you
Oh,
start
yeah.
talking about that.
Oh, yeah. And I try to ease that discomfort and let them know, like, everybody goes through this.
Yeah.
This isn't unique to you. Any young person that I speak with, they feel overwhelmed
Mhm.
and they don't know what questions to ask sometimes. And we just start at the beginning and dive through it. And, I ask them, what do you know about banking? What do you know about finance? What do you think this looks like? Do you know how to write a check?
Yeah, that's
Um,
one thing I always want to know.
yeah.
They still teach
Yeah.
that?
Writing a check.
Writing a check.
They
I know,
do.
I know very few people, or students,
Use
can learn cursive.
Yeah.
So signing their name and developing their signature. Now, my signature is awful. Anybody can copy it. It's just squiggle lines. But I will say,
True.
like, I remember writing check in school, like
Yep.
learning how to
Yeah.
put in the
Mhm.
dates and how
Right.
to put the little 00 over 100 for no cents. And
Yeah.
You get like
carry-
the packet.
Yeah,
and
you
you
get
learn
the
how
whole
to
packet with
balance a
checks
ledger
and-
and things like that.
Consumer
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's still
I don't think
part
it
of
is.
I don't think
curriculum.
so. I don't think so.
I don't think it is. My boys haven't told me about that,
Yeah.
But I mean, I educate them on
Yeah.
what to do.
Right.
Definitely,
They've
they're
got a
going to be
ringer.
pros.
Well, it's important. It's important to know. I mean, one of the
Yeah.
things that we have the opportunity to do, Grow Clinton and partner with Clinton Middle School and Clinton High School, is they have a program called IJAG, and that's Iowa Jobs for America's Graduates. And these are students that are probably looking at entering the workforce right after they graduate. And whenever I speak to them, first of all, capturing their attention is somewhat difficult.
Yes.
But when I do capture their attention, I ask them, so when you graduate high school and you're off on your own, living this magical life that you've built in your own head, when the cell phone bill comes, whose name's on the bill? And they're like, well, mine. I'm like, cool. When you want to buy a car, whose name's on the loan? Mine. And you just see it starts clicking like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
All these things I never had to pay for.
Right.
Yeah.
I never realized were going to be necessary expenses. That's going to be my responsibility to have the money to cover the balance of those debts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's always kind of a sobering realization for them.
Yeah.
it is. You got to
can
grind.
be.
It's true. But I mean, the saving part of it and
Mhm.
having somebody, it's a mentor.
Yeah.
Tell you, if somebody would have told me that back when I was a teenager, look, get your own account
Yeah.
and start socking money away for yourself, I would have been like, okay, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
think of that.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
It's really important, even if it's just $5 a paycheck.
Right.
You put it into account, you don't touch it. Eventually, that's going to accumulate into something greater.
Right.
And teaching them to establish savings early on, even if it's just a little bit, that's going to set them up for success in the future. Also, how to balance a checkbook.
Right.
How long it takes a transaction to clear their account.
Mm-hmm.
A big problem I ran into whenever I first moved out was I didn't realize that the
Oh, yeah.
balance on the ATM wasn't necessarily the
Yes.
balance I had.
Oh,
You're like,
gosh.
look what I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've
when you
been there.
overdraw,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
it
When I-
hurts.
First year in the military, I decided to go out and buy a brand new truck. So my one entire paycheck was my
course.
truck payment, and then
Yep.
half of my next paycheck was my insurance payment.
Yes.
So I lived on ramen
Yep.
and goober. Remember what goober was?
Yes. I have
That
them
was
in
the
my fridge right now.
combined
Peanut butter
PB&J.
and
I
jelly.
do. I have some
Yeah.
of that right now.
Broke as a joke. It was insane how broke I was.
Look good in your
But-
truck, though, I bet.
Yeah, it looked awesome in a truck.
Mm.
So all these one stripe, two stripe airmen's always had the nicest vehicle,
Yeah.
but they're just super broke.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about breaking the stigma around money questions in general. I mean, it is a scary thing. We've already kind of talked about that. It's a very emotional thing and it's revealing. And sometimes people realize they have financial issues they need to address, but it takes a lot of courage to step up in front of a financial expert and have those conversations. So how do you, as business professionals and bankers, eliminate that stigma?
So from the business side is, especially small business owners, is they tend to go into it thinking that they have to know everything, or that they do know everything, which is also a recipe
That's
for
true.
disaster.
Yeah.
But being okay with getting in the weeds. Be okay with being like, I don't know what I'm doing, but also being okay to receive the answers and the steps to get to a better place. No question is stupid. No question is a question that no one else has ever thought of. But coming and asking and being okay with it being a quote unquote dumb question to you, it's not a dumb question to us.
Yeah.
And being ready for the solutions, because they're going to be hard. And that translates over to the retail side, because it's kind of the same thing. People become adults, they're like, oh, the money's just the fantasy world they're living. They're just going to have the dollars and it's going to appear. Parents don't magically have the dollars
No,
either.
they're all going to be YouTube stars and just
Yeah.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Influencers.
That's what they all want to do. They
We're
wanna
still
be
fighting.
YouTube.
Jenny and I are still trying to work on that. So far, so good, but we'll see. The millions haven't rolled in yet, though.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, you're
I'm
gonna
waiting.
So what about, like, this is a question, this is a personal question, but also I've experienced this with some younger individuals that I've engaged. They get out of school, they go to post-secondary, they get their degree, they enter the workforce, they don't have the money coming in that meets their standard of living, and they rack up a considerable amount of credit card debt. Now, if you're just paying the minimum payment, you're never going to pay that
Right.
credit card
No.
off.
No.
So what do you do? What's your advice for some folks that maybe have, well, I'll put myself in this scenario, remarried after a divorce, two individuals, both had credit cards, both carry credit card debt. Is there opportunities to consolidate that debt into a single payment? What does that look like? And how do you work through
Absolutely.
that stuff?
I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do, right? If you're going to consolidate your credit card debt, then you want to do it in a way that's going to have the lowest interest rate. Usually that's looking at refinancing a vehicle if you have equity in it, because vehicle rates are a lot lower than a credit card. You're looking at 28.99% interest on some credit cards, maybe even higher. So if you can slice that to like 6.5% for a vehicle, that's going to be your best option. And then you want to make more than the minimum payment on credit cards if you can't do that. So if you're in a position where that's not an option for you, you can do a budget. Go speak to your banker. Let them go through your statement with a fine-tuned comb. Let's see how much you're spending on coffee and streaming services. Let's see how much cash we can free up to go towards that debt to improve your quality of life over time.
You're
And
not
that-
joking about the coffee and
No.
streaming services. I forget sometimes. Like, I will
The
subscribe to,
subscriptions. Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just say it's Peacock or whatever,
Right.
because there's a show on that
Right.
network that I want to watch. And that's how they get you.
And
Is
you
Oh,
you-
yeah.
binge
so
it,
easy.
and then you're getting
so
charged
easy.
later.
Football.
They just throw a
Mhm.
QR code on the screen, you scan it, it's connected
Yeah.
already to your account.
Yep.
Boom. Next thing you know, you're paying 13, 14, 15 bucks a month, and you don't even realize it until you go back and look at your bank statement.
Right.
And then you say to yourself, I got to cancel that. And then
Yeah.
the next month, boom, I got to cancel that.
I
boom,
know.
boom. And then 2 years go by.
Yep.
Yeah.
and
And
that's
never
a lot
watch
of money.
Peacock again.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Me and my husband, one of the things that we do with subscriptions is, because we get caught up in that, oh, we want to binge this show,
Yeah.
get it done, is every 6 months we go through our bank statements and we are super intentional with that of like, okay, we don't watch this platform anymore. We're not using this. We're not using this, because it'll get you.
You
And
gotta
they
have time
add
to-
up
you
so quickly.
Make the time to do it. That's
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. And I think another thing that is kind of a big deal now is, and I'm going to sound old, but because
Back in my day,
because I am
I double
old.
parked the old Bucky.
But no, that
My mom's going to yell at me, by the way, for making fun of you. So
why?
just feel satisfied, because she doesn't like if I pick on people.
I'm okay with it. But the influencers, what we were just talking about, that standard of living, you don't have to do that. I mean, it's so hard, I think, anymore. Well, if I'm not doing this, I must not be doing something right. And then and that's all geared toward the people watching spending money.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I imagine
Yeah.
you probably have people who come in and are just drowning.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hard
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
The other, with the credit cards, another thing to stop using them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the other thing
Yeah.
is, once you make the effort to go talk to your banker, go talk to that expert who can give you that advice, but it's also getting back in the weeds again and really looking at yourself and deciding, am I a credit card person? Very similar situation, divorce,
Yeah.
new husband, new life, new jobs, new
Yeah,
careers.
you're combining debt and
Combining
Mhm.
debt. We are two very different people. He is a credit card person. He is great with money on that aspect. I'm not a credit card person.
Yeah.
I'm very good with a debit card because I know what's there.
Mhm.
There's no interest and I'm good to go. But we had to go through that process of learning each other's financial selves because we
Yeah.
know each other,
Mhm.
but really learning that. And if you're not a credit card person, really taking that deep dive look at yourself and being like, I don't have to have
Yeah,
this.
I
had a
love
friend, I had a
that.
friend in the military that was a credit card person because he would always have, whether it was flight miles or eating at
Yeah.
restaurants, staying in hotels. He was extremely savvy,
Right.
and then he would basically charge things to his credit card all month, and at the end of the month he'd pay it all off.
Mm-hmm.
Very disciplined. Me, not so much.
It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And another
tough.
thing, when you think about young people or anybody really, when it comes to buying a house, I've seen so many of them say, well, I'm approved for this much, but that
Oh.
doesn't mean you have to spend that, right?
Right.
I
I
mean,
have a
don't
great
have
story
to.
about that.
yeah.
Well, just prior to the Great Recession in 2007, I was reassigned to Dover, Delaware, where my then wife was also active duty military. We were both staff sergeants, E5s. We got approved for a $750,000
Oh, Lord.
mortgage.
Yeah.
And it's a VA mortgage,
Right.
so you don't have to take anything to closing. And they dangle that carrot. And
Right,
if
right.
we weren't smart about it and just were like, well, we didn't have any kids at the time, we could have bought a really nice house.
Right.
McMansion,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
hey,
been
that's
pounding
good.
it up.
Yeah.
So what happens is the market crashes. All the homes in our development are just covered in Tyvek paper. They stop construction because the people that had them were building them could no longer afford them.
Mhm.
My home depreciated in value like $100,000 overnight.
Wow.
I couldn't sell it for what it was worth. We ended up selling it short after years of trying to rent it out and sell it. But that's the whole reason why the system crashed.
Mm-hmm.
But now
Yeah.
you see they're doing it all over again. They're
I
making
know.
these same mistakes all over again, approving these massive mortgage loans for people that they know cannot afford the monthly payment.
Right. And I
Yeah.
mean, well, how great it is to walk into an institution and just by talking to you, you obviously know exactly what you're talking about, to have these tough conversations and
Yeah.
have this advice,
Yeah.
because it's more than just money. It's more than, for you, it is more than just trying to get people to get a loan, or it's their lives, and you know it.
It's
Yeah.
literally our livelihood. And I can speak on the mortgage side. I actually bought a house 2 years ago. Utilized the bank I work at because that's smart. But
It's nice.
I was 2 years out of my divorce. I hadn't remarried yet. So it was something that I had a goal for myself. It's like, I want to do this, do the things. I also put my debt in my boyfriend's hands, fiance at the time, of like, help me with this.
Do it.
But I went to one of our lenders and I was like, I carry debt from my previous marriage. Also, get a lawyer.
Yeah.
Make sure
Good
that you're
advice.
doing the right things with your debt if
Mhm.
you are going through a divorce, because it carries with you. It doesn't just go away.
Right.
But when I went and she ran my credit and she pulled everything, they sat down with me, even being an employee, and was like, do this one first, do this one second, do this one third, and come back in 6 months. And having 3 teenagers and living in a really tiny apartment, we went the ramen route, and because we were like, we're choosing our financial future because it's what matters.
Yeah.
Because a house is literally your biggest investment. And knowing that the lender, it didn't matter that I worked there, I was a person. And that's how they treat everyone. And that's how we treat everyone that comes in also, is like, we want the best for you. And if it means not us, that's okay. But also go through the questions, go
Yeah,
through the
ask
fear,
questions.
walk through that,
Yeah.
smoke a little bit, and and lead that.
Yeah. So Andrea, is that what separates a community bank from a larger, like, national institution?
Yeah, I wasn't cut out for nursing. You know, I couldn't do that.
No.
I got involved in banking when I was 19, and I really want to make a difference in people's lives. And finances are a big part of everyone's lives. We all have to spend money. We have to. We do it every day. And if I can be that person to help guide them to improve their future financially and set them up for success, I really want to do that. I don't care what your story is. I'm never going to judge anyone.
Oh, that's good.
Whenever I started, I've overdrawn my bank account. Whenever I was a teenager, like, I've had too much debt. I've crawled out of that. And I know how it is. I know how hard it is, how depressed you can be, how it really affects your soul. And I want to help people. And that's the difference between a community bank and these big other
Sitting
big
around
banks.
this table, all of us have been in financial hardships.
Yeah.
Jenny, myself. I mean, it's just, you never know what life's going to throw at you. And at one point, you think you're in a position to set up for success, and next thing you know,
Get swept.
You're financially destroyed and picking yourself up out of the gutter. And it does take a lot of discipline, but I truly believe that's what sets a community bank apart, is the one-on-one, face-to-face, personal interaction, and that somebody genuinely cares about your financial freedom, because they're going to see you at the local grocery store.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to see you at Finally Fridays. Like, they're not just somebody you're going to talk to on a phone that works for a large corporation in the middle of nowhere.
And like you said, the dangling the carrot, they're not going to do that to you. They care about you. You're a neighbor, a friend.
Did they ever approve greater than 30-year mortgages? Is that a thing?
Isn't it 50?
I know it was like talked about, but I don't know if it
think
ever
it's
came out.
actually gone through. I saw that,
That's
and I was like,
insane.
whoa.
If anybody
50
lays
years?
their financial life on the line
No.
for a 50-year mortgage.
I'll tell you what, if they gave me one, I'd be laughing all the way out.
Oh, well, first of all,
50?
nobody's ever going to pay it, right?
How would I ever pay that?
I mean, if you take out a mortgage at 35,
Yeah.
a 50-year mortgage, if you're still around at 85, good for you, but
58.
Well,
You know.
and the
I'm gonna be
thing with that
diagnosed.
is the minimum payment on a 50-year mortgage is going to be very low, depending on how much you spend for the house, of course.
well, I guess that's the whole reason behind the
Right.
longevity
Right.
of the loan, right?
But the issue is you're never going to pay that off if you continue to make the minimum payment. You have to pay more than the minimum payment. You got to pay double
Yeah.
at least to be able to pay it off in a decent amount of time before you retire. And that's kind of the scary thing for me whenever I think about that. In certain situations, it would be perfect for certain people. It just depends on the person and where they're at,
Yeah.
A mistake I made nearly 20 years ago still haunts me today, and that was that short sale.
Yeah.
When I applied for my mortgage, when I moved into my house in 2017, 18, I had to do an FHA, and I have to carry insurance because I'm a risky borrower. And I pay an additional $75, $80 a month on this insurance policy, whereas now I'm in a good financial position. But then you think about my wife. She went back and got her doctorate and racked up a lot of student loan
Oh,
debt
yeah.
Yeah.
in nursing, which
Yeah.
is by if you didn't know, this is not like a professional career
I
field
heard
anymore.
that somewhere.
That's so crazy.
So
Yeah, that's wild.
Come on.
but yeah, so anyways, we could talk about this all day long. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Again, Sterling Federal Bank, location right here in Clinton, not far from where we're sitting, right by the YWCA.
They have something
the
else
east
they want
side.
to talk about.
What else do
though,
we have to
too.
talk about?
So we are entering the podcast
Yay!
world.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast world.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, this is something right up me and Andrea's alley.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Something we have actually not podcasting, but we've streamed together in the past.
Yep.
'Cause
Gaming,
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gaming.
which I didn't know was a thing for a long time.
It is so great.
It was
And then
so
I
fun.
never knew that like Twitch existed.
Yeah.
And I bumped into a young lady at a local watering hole who told me like that was her side hustle was
Yes.
Yeah.
gaming, and then had this Twitch account. And I was like, I didn't know that existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Very
so
cool
awesome.
though. Now my kid watches it all the time, so
Oh, yeah.
now I know
Yeah.
it exists.
I actually just got like 3 notifications that people were going live.
Yeah.
But a tiny plot twist within this is I also used to be a Styles.
Mhm.
So we streamed together. She's married to my brother.
Yep.
Nice.
So we're taking this to the next level. We're going to be introducing next year a podcast called Bank on It with Sterling
Yeah.
Federal Bank.
Yep.
And getting tips from you guys, and we're really
Oh, we'd
excited
love to
about
help,
that
yeah.
process.
Mhm.
It's going to be a quarterly thing, so
Yeah.
not every month because we don't want to overwhelm the public.
Yeah, it's good
Um,
content though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but very similar to this, where we're just going to answer questions and really get into the personal side of the consumer and the business side of banking as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love what you guys do. When I went back to college as well when I was in my 40s, and I had to go on campus because I partied too much. when I
Party
was in
too
the
much,
18
yeah.
So I had to go back and get some gen eds taken care of on campus. They weren't offered online then. So I remember sitting in a lecture hall, and there was always, you know how you always pick your same seat every time you go in? There was a kid to me sitting in front of me, and I got to know him a little bit. You know, I didn't really talk to the students like, because I was an old lady out there. I was a campus character. I was an old lady.
Yeah, well, I get it. I walked out of a bar in Iowa City, and the guy that was standing behind the velvet rope waiting to get in went, "Man, there's a lot of old people out there."
Oh, no.
Listen here, son. Yeah.
Sunny
So
boy.
anyway, this kid sat in front of me and smart as a whip, really motivated. I talked to him about what he wanted to do with his life. And one day I came in there and he was just so quiet. And I leaned forward and I said, Mom, is everything okay? And he said, I'm trying to interview and I don't know if I'll hear back from anybody. I'm so worried. And he kind of started tearing up. I don't know how I'm going to pay all these loans back.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, you know, I never did this, but I put my hands on his shoulders. I said, it's all going to be okay. I promise you
Yeah.
it will. But I mean, if it would have been a situation where I could said, you need to go talk to Brandi and you know,
Yeah.
they'll get you all set up.
Yeah.
I mean, people would have felt a ton better. So always think about him when you're
Yeah.
doing this.
I would never deny anybody a post-secondary education. I
No,
don't
it's-
dislike college. I do have a lot of questions, though.
Me
Like,
too.
I don't know why a book is $300 when I
Oh
can
my
buy the
Lord.
same
Tell
book
me
used on
about it.
Amazon.
Seriously.
Like, how do you justify the expense of a college school book or class book?
And getting $20 for it when you take it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
That's
just
not
didn't.
what we were promised.
No.
Yeah, no. And my
Right.
wife actually, she
Yeah.
bought her a set of books online.
Yeah.
From a reputable company, right? This is a true story. And the box shows up to our doorstep, and I can see it's saturated. Like there's liquid coming out of
No.
it. And I'm like, what is this? Some brainiac thought it was a good idea. And I get the idea. I get the reasoning behind it. To put a can of Red Bull and a little note that said, like, keep studying, here's a little extra
No
energy.
way.
But didn't realize that when you put a carbonated beverage in a can and then ship it from the West Coast to central Iowa or eastern Iowa, that can's going to rattle and shake and eventually explode.
No.
So she had all these books that were covered in Red Bull. The pages were all stuck together.
Did they
Luck-
make it right?
They did make it right.
All
but I
right.
just shared when I called the company, I was like, dude, whose idea
Yeah,
was this?
that's
I
not
hope
good.
it is not somebody just hired with an MBA, like out of a slick
Right.
marketing program that thought this was a great idea, because they obviously have no common sense.
No, sitting around a table going, yeah, that would be awesome.
But no, student loan debt is no joke. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
luckily, my wife received a decent payoff for one of her student loans that she applied for. And I'm very proud of her for doing so. But
Good.
still, you know, in our 40s, looking at the amount of debt that she still has for that, you know, extended degree, I'm proud of her for graduating
Right.
and getting her doctorate. But you also look at it and you're like, okay, well, eventually compensation's got to just extend beyond the student loan debt that we
Yeah.
owe and be worth it, right?
Right? I mean, you get on a hamster wheel with those loans. And I mean, to be able to come in somewhere and say, how do I get off of that?
Yeah.
You know, because I want to live a real life and I don't want to be paying off mine and then starting on my kids.
Yeah.
You know,
I have student loan debt right now because I went to college late in life, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And going to college with kids, like you have to do what you have to do. I wasn't able to work full time.
Mm-hmm.
So student loans assisted me in being able to afford my rent while I
Yeah.
was in college full time.
That's what they're for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's very
it's
interesting, the whole
definitely-
process, because I went right into the service.
Yeah.
So I didn't, you know, my degree is not a bachelor's, but it's an associate's in airway science. And that was something I earned just through, you know, getting promoted, earning more rank, earning more experience, taking some minor prerequisites and things of that nature. Low hanging fruit, easy, cost nothing. However, when I met my wife and we were going through that whole student loan application thing, and I was like, this is insane. And then when we get our bill and it shows like 6 or 7 different loans from different financial institutions with insane interest rates and which
Or
ones
they
you should pay off.
subsidize or unsubsidize.
Oh my gosh. It's
and-
like how, and, you hear people like Dave Ramsey. What he says sounds great in theory. Pay cash for everything.
Yeah.
But if you're starting from like negative a lot,
Yeah.
you're going to take a long time till you get to that
Right.
point where you can just pay cash for a car.
You
You
gotta
gotta
have the
talk
cash.
to Caleb Hammer.
Who's that?
Oh, I love Caleb,
Caleb Hammer
Hammer
is amazing.
I'm a huge fan of Caleb
Yeah.
Hammer.
He's a millennial and he's very real
Yeah.
when it comes to debt, and he also isn't afraid to like scream at you and be like, "Why are you going to McDonald's 3 times a day?"
I've seen this guy.
He's
Yeah.
very loud and
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Financial audit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta look
No,
into that.
great.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, I appreciate both of you, Andrea and Brandi, representing Sterling Federal Bank, for coming into the Stu studio today. Anytime you guys need anything from us, do not hesitate to reach out. As you can see, we love podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a great addition to the Grow Clinton arsenal of membership benefits.
Mhm.
And we're excited to be able to continue as we approach episode 200.
Oh man, I love what you said about somebody saying they feel like they live here just because they watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I-
so
Last night I
awesome.
had a gentleman tell me he watches every episode, and I never would have thought in a million years
No kidding.
that he would watch every episode. But
Aw.
he said he loves tuning in, loves learning about what's in his own backyard.
Awesome.
Many of which, organizations or businesses he didn't know existed,
Right.
or what they did.
Right.
So we're reaching a broad audience.
Awesome. Thank you.
Jenny, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
Well,
What day
it's
is it?
Thursday.
I got to do a Friday song,
Oh yeah, I want.
which
that.
I love the internet, by the way. AI is like my
Yes.
jam.
Oh, I love
It's the
AI.
best.
And we do this thing called monthly member giveaway.
Yes.
And I went into an AI site and I did a prompt of, Grow Clinton monthly member giveaway song, electronica, whatever.
Yeah.
And it came out this super cool
Really?
30-second, like, welcome to the Grow Clinton giveaway. And it's like all this like auto tune, and it's so cool.
That's
So I got to do
amazing.
something for a
That's
Friday
awesome.
song.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about our swag coming up. Our
Yeah,
swag
we're
store.
ordering some swag for our retail spot next door at 719
That's gonna be
South
amazing.
2nd Street. We're kind of doing a little a la Ray Gun style where we'll come up with some creative sayings that represents our community.
Yeah.
Nice.
I came up with one with it's welcome to Clinton, where the T is silent,
Clinton.
because everybody. Yeah, because when I was on the radio with Chris Streets, people would call the station and say, I can tell Andy is not from here. And I'd be like, why? I've lived here for a
Yeah.
while now. Like, because you say the T in Clinton.
Yeah.
And
Oh
that
my
was
gosh,
the-
they're so right.
that was the
Clinton.
deal.
Gosh, yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
And I
So-
don't, because
yeah.
I was raised in
So
Morton.
it's just, and
Yeah,
it's
I
not a bad
see.
thing. It's just
See?
funny. I mean, I'm from the East Coast where we say everything weird, but
Yeah.
that's where the T
That's
is silent.
great.
So that's gonna be one of our shirts, and we're
Yep.
just kind of coming up with catchy sayings and selling some swag to support our efforts here at Grow Clinton and really
Yes.
generate some buzz about our community.
They'll all be. You can see it in our window. It'll
Yeah.
be so cool.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Citizens First Bank, AdCraft Printwear and Sully Sports, Miles Communications, and of course, Lyondell Basell. Without your support, we won't be able to do this. So for that, I am very thankful. Until I talk to you guys in the future, stay classy. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.